let's calculate your macros. It seems that people are making this way more complex and way more stressful than it really needs to be. So allow me to try to simplify this for you. The thing that you really need to know is that your macros are going to change, especially if this is the first time you've ever done this. What we need to understand is that we're coming up with an educated guess on what we think it's going to take for you to achieve your goals, whether it's fat loss, muscle gain, weight loss, etc. But the numbers that we come up with today will change after you test them. I think a lot of people believe that they calculate some numbers and that's it. No, we need to shift them based on how your body responds. So we're going to calculate some numbers, and then hopefully in 3 to 4 weeks, you then look at how your results were. Did you lose some inches? Did you lose some pounds? Did you gain some muscle? How did you feel during the entire thing? Did you feel tired? Did you feel like you had plenty of energy? And then we shift the macros around a little bit more, and then we try again, and then shift and try. Also noting that as you lose weight, or as you change jobs, as your schedule changes, as you change fitness programs, these again might shift and change. So let's start with my favorite website, idealnutrition.com.au, and this is the calorie calculator on there. I am going to switch this to imperial because I do not understand the metric form. I'm a male. Here we go. 41. Currently, I'm about 165. I am 5'7", maybe 5'8" with the hair. And automatically, you're going to see it gives me my basal metabolic rate, my BMR. This is essentially the number of calories that I'm going to burn per day to just keep the lights on. Heart pumping, brain maybe thinking a little bit, etc. Next, this is where my current exercise is. You're going to fill in what yours is. Are you exercising right now? Do you plan on exercising? And are you actually going to do those exercises? For me, I aim for about 4 times a week. I try to go heavy, but I'm just going to err on the lower side here. And you'll see that my calories are updating in real time to equal out what it's going to take to keep me going through my exercise and living. Now, next up is your total daily energy expenditure. Basically, the amount of movement that you're doing per day. What's your job? A construction worker would need to eat a lot more than somebody working at a desk all day. Personally, I work at a desk all day. I probably get more than 5,000 steps, but I am just going to err on the low side here. And now we get to our goal. Now, we're going to go over this a few times, but for the first time you do this, I'd really like you to just say maintain weight. This is the area that most people really mess this thing up. They're like, well, I want to lose 10 pounds this week. And they get some kind of crazy calculation. So we're just going to say maintain weight, and then we're going to come back in a second and switch this. I'll say next. All right. This is why I like this website so much, is that I can change all these little sliders in real time. Now, first up is protein. This is something that, regardless of your goals, I generally like to keep about the same. What I aim for is 1 gram of protein per pound of healthy body weight. So, for example, myself, I'm about my healthy body weight right now at 165. Maybe 160 would be a little bit closer, but I am going to slide this to get as close as I can to about 160 grams per day. If you, for example, are currently weigh 200 pounds and maybe the next few months you want to be 175, but your healthy body weight would be 140, then I want you to put 140 in here. Don't put 200 pounds. Now, you might also read that the number is not exactly 1 in some of the new scientific literature. What I find is 1 is just a great starting point for most people. It's easy to remember, and it just makes this whole process easier. A lot of people don't even get their 1 gram per pound of healthy body weight per day. So it's also something that people can strive to achieve. You're not going to get these numbers exact. Give yourself some grace, give yourself some padding. It's okay. And for me, I just let the carbs and fats fall where they may right here. I'm going to hit next, and let's look at what I got here. A reminder, 1,600, a little over 1,600 is what I burn just to keep the lights on. In order to not gain any weight and not lose any weight, I want to be around 2,250 calories per day. I have my protein, my calorie Target is 2250 again, and this should keep me not gaining or losing. Now, let's change this up a little bit. Now that I know that is what I don't want to go over. Let's go back to our goal, and I'll say lose weight now. I think this is probably where most people are sitting right now. Target weight loss per week. This is where people, again, kind of go a little bit crazy, right? If you have the option to lose more or less weight, why would you ever pick less? Remember, the more weight you try to lose, the faster you try to lose it, the absolute more likely it is that you're going to be unhappy, you're not going to have any energy, and you're just going to rebound anyway. So I personally like to keep this around 300 grams. That is a little over half a pound of body fat per week that we will lose. Again, it's give or take. We have to test all this stuff out and see how our bodies respond. So I'm going to hit next. I'm going to fix my protein again. Let the carbs and fats fall where they may. Hit next, and now you'll see, if you scroll down a little bit, my new caloric requirement to achieve this fat loss would be 1,950 calories instead of the 2,250. So it's about a 300 calorie a day reduction. Actually, it's exactly 300 calorie a day reduction. My protein didn't change, and I let carbs and fats fall where they may. Now, I would go off and start trying this. Try to hit my 1,900 calories, 1,950. Try to hit my protein and see where I fall, maybe in 3 to 4 weeks. Did I lose some fat? How was my energy? If I found my energy was getting a little low, I would bump up my carbs. Fats might have to reduce a little bit in order to take on these new carbs. And I would see. Remember, calorie counting happens 7 days a week. You don't just do this Monday through Thursday or Monday through Friday and then hope the weekend just fills in itself. You want to track as accurately as possible. We'll talk about that more later. So that is calculating your initial macros until you can then start trying. And you'd come back to these numbers and maybe type in some new numbers if they didn't exactly work for you. Just as a reminder, while macros can be a fantastic tool for getting as much information about your body, how it responds, and how to get to where you want to be, there is a lot of room for error, especially in tracking. The app has its own error rates, nutrition labels have its own error rates, and quite frankly, people just don't measure as accurately as they think they really do. So be patient, take your time, and if you have a coach or myself, please ask for advice, let us look over your numbers, and just be prepared to make some shifts until you really dial in and find out the right numbers, the right methods, the right everything for you. I hope this was helpful, and let me know if you have any questions.